All right, and fantastic. We're going to go ahead and begin. So as you can see right here, if you can see my screen, as you can see, I have a couple of different applications, all from DAOR. Now, the main three applications that allow you to send information to your client is going to be this MLS app. This works similarly to the HomeSnap app, which works similarly to the MLS Touch app. So we have all three apps. Both are from MLS. Both just give you different access and have different features. Now, the MLS Touch app personally is my favorite. I think it's the most streamlined and the most effective when you are giving to your customer and to your client. You also can brand the MLS Touch app the best. The HomeSnap app, the greatest thing about that is you are able to do virtual tours. So you can record almost like an Instagram video of a home and place it on your HomeSnap. The MLS app allows you to go to your listings real quick and kind of like go through the MLS very simply. When you are sending to your clients, the best one is the MLS Touch, which is why we're going to go through it. So logging on, you might need to log in with California and your MLS credentials. And as always, before we start any benefit, we are going to make sure that we are going into the More section. Now, I wanted to show you both ends of the spectrum, right? I wanted to show you what it looks like for the agent, but I also wanted to show you what it looks like for the client. So shout out to Erica Ochoa from our education, our MLS director. She's letting me borrow this account so I can show you both ways. Right, and so there's a couple of things on here, right? We have a saved search feature so that we can see all of our saved searches on the MLS Touch, but not just that, on the matrix, if we've saved any on the matrix, that can sync as well. We're going to skip past the brand and share and the Facebook publishing tool for now, but I want you to see you do have a calculator so that you can see what your monthly payment will be. You do have the option to find members, which is a really neat feature here because you can search through all of the members. So we'll do a quick shout out and we see that. And we can easily pull up people's information. We can see their active listings. And we see all of their contact information. Now, because this is from the MLS, all of your information is comprised on here as well. If I were to search you or you were to search yourself, you would see that information as well. And we can see all of your contact information and things like that. Now, as always, we have our matrix integration so that our contacts can sync, our client portal can sync, our saved search or our carts. And finally, we go into settings. From here, we can get our different preferences that we need, such as our default down payment, our remember last search for our maps, and our sorts, whether we want ascending price, right? Address, living area, status date. And now we can go back from there. Additionally, we do have our comparables. Now this tab will pull up every single time you are searching for comps through MLS Touch. Both you and your client will have the ability to search for comps, and this will pull up so that if you decide you want to compare with recently sold or on market, a price range, a distance, and whether you want the same number of bedrooms. Finally, we have our notification settings for how you want to be notified. If you want notifications when you get messages from your contacts or new leads, your new contacts favorites, possibilities, or discarded. So that's another great thing about the MLS Touch app. All contacts, so you are going to get a link that's going to allow people to access the MLS and the MLS Touch app on your behalf. You get to brand the app so that when they get access, they're seeing nothing but your branding. Every new contact comes in as a new lead first, and you have to give them access to the actual MLS. Additionally, when you do send your contacts properties or when they're looking at properties, they have the option to group those properties into one of three categories, right? Whether something of that property is their favorite and they can detail what, whether that property is a possibility, or whether that property is not for them and discard it. We do have some technical support, a little bit of MLS Touch, and some feedback if you are experiencing some difficulties with the app. We're going to move past this brand and share and move this over for a little bit later. This brand and share and the Facebook publishing tool are really going to help you with getting new leads, or the brand and share is really going to help you with giving your clients the access into the actual MLS Touch. A couple of things along the bottom, right? We have the members list still, so that you can search for those members. We have our messages. Now, I really enjoy the messaging through MLS Touch because I can set up my clients, and personally, I think it's less invasive, right? As opposed to sending them a message directly to their inbox, we're kind of sending them a message through the app, and when they open the app, they're going to receive those messages and be able to read them. Now, we see I have 2 clients, both myself. So if we go into myself, we see that there are 15 messages, and we can see the thread that started, and most of the thread is me sending properties, right? I know this is something you're looking for. What do you think about this? How about the wood, right, in those panels? And we can go through, right? We see messages back. Thanks, right? How about this? What do you think? And so we get to start sending messages, and I really get to just follow the real estate journey of my client by going through the listings and kind of seeing. Now, similarly, I have the contacts, which will show the same contacts, right? Now, additionally, I do have leads. So all of my leads come in directly through here, and then I have to make them my contact. Now, we can easily see if we go into a contact, some things, right? If we come into a contact, we can see already their favorites, their possibilities, or their discarded, and we can easily send them a message if we need to. We're going to go into favorites and see those different favorites, and we can see why, and if we needed to look into the property, we can see notes that were left between each other, some possibilities, and something that they just could not stand. Additionally, we can see the sent listings that we've sent. So you've sent 2 listings. We could see all of that information for the listings that we send. We can easily see when they shared the app, so last use about a month ago, and any private notes that you have between each other, either on properties or just in general, so that you can see. And then all of their contact information. When they do sign up for the MLS client, the only thing they're going to need is first name, last name, and one form of communication, whether that's email or a phone number, whatever that is, but they need to have that one form of communication so that when you send the listings, right, and I can easily go up and delete or add a contact, and I can create new or import from the device, so from my phone. I'm going to go ahead and move on over to the Home tab so we can see the couple of different features that we can see up front. Right away, we see a couple of different things. We have both a hot sheet and an Insta View button. The Insta View is probably one of my favorite, as well as it's going to be one of your clients' most resourceful and useful tools, especially right now when you can't really get out and you can't really go visit house to house. Your client can pull up the Insta View button to capture any property in front of them and pull up information about that current listing. So the Insta View works same thing as the Realtor. If I'm walking or I'm driving down an area, I sometimes like to do this with my girlfriend. We go out and we'll drive and we'll see a house right now. You know, there's not really anything to particularly do, but we are still looking for our home. So we go around, look for houses, and then we click that Insta View button. And as long as that house is on the MLS, it pulls up all of the property information, gives me some info on it, and I immediately get to see the listing. So that's a really neat feature, right? Right away with that listing, every single listing, I get to see the agent and I get to contact. So as the realtor, if I'm using the Insta View, any property I'm seeing, I can pull it up, and now I have the agent's contact information. I have that property information stored in my MLS Touch. We do have a hot sheet button, right? So that we can see new listings or price reductions or recently sold, which we can click on. So I'm going to click on the new listings, and we're going to see how it starts building all the new listings. Now, here's the only problem that I have with this hot sheet that I will have to tell you before we go any further. The problem with this hot sheet when you are configuring it is you get to choose a schematic of areas. You get to choose how you're going to configure and choose your selection. So right now I have Downey and Pico Rivera, but I am able to select up to 8 cities. So my problem with this hot sheet specifically, if we are just using it to kind of see active listings, then it's perfect. But if we really are trying to get like some kind of market update through the hot sheet, it's going to be very difficult as we continue to build more selections, because I can have Downey, Pico Rivera, which are very close to each other, but then I can go a little bit further, right? And get out there, commerce, I can go a little bit further. So if I had too many areas in all 8 cities up here, yes, I would be able to see immediately the new listings or the price reductions or recently sold, but it really wouldn't help me build an actual like market update of what's going on in a particular city. All right, so now back to the home tab. We have a couple of things. We have a map search that we can go directly into, which will pull up the map of my surrounding area, exactly where I'm at, and any properties within that area. So we can already see the different properties and the different tags, right? Whether something, when this was listed and how much, and we can easily pull up that information. Right, another listing, this time residential. And I can easily do things such as save the search. Maybe this is my map save search. I do have a couple of different options, right? I can change the map to satellite view. I also can add traffic, so I can see real-time traffic. And I also can add schools to the map. Both of which will toggle on the map, and I'll be able to see that information. I also can define areas by drawing on the map. And I also have my current location, so that no matter where I'm going through on the map, I can always come back to exactly where I'm at. Now, we can see all of these in a map search, but we also can go over to the list. So we can see the properties that have been sorted out in this list. Additionally, we do have the option of seeing stats for whatever area that we're searching. Whether we're doing a map search, we see that there are 12 results in this property, so we're going to get the statistics of these 12 results, and we'll see how many are active in the area. We'll see sold and expired, and we see a couple of different things with these stats, right? So we can go into the average price for the area, but we can go in and immediately see the lowest priced and the highest priced property. Right, so fantastic. We see the property type breakdown, days on MLS. We get the shortest one and the longest one, and we can view that. And we can go to sold or expired and see the same information. Now I'm going to skip over filtering any results because we are just in a map search, and I wanted to show you that you can just search on the map. That's also a great feature that your client is able to use. We do have an advanced search option though, so we can search directly from a zip code or from a city. So I'm going to go ahead and apply Downey to that. And now if there is a specific area, I can also select specific areas. But I'm going to go ahead and do property type and go down. We see we have many different options when we are using the property type. And I see that I can go into all residential, apartment, farm, high-tech flex, hotel, motel, loft. And I'm going to go down to single family residence. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that filter once I've selected it. If you couldn't see it on my screen, I apologize. I'm going to change how many bedrooms I want, how many bathrooms. I can even do listing status. So I don't want active and pending. I only want active. I'll apply that. And I can do show only open houses, but I also have more criteria options like special listing conditions, cooling, heating, right? Room type, parking features, even things such as the view or pets allowed. And then I'm just going to go ahead and search. And now we'll pull up those properties. I can see them on a map if I want to see where they're located, right? I see the list, I can do the stats. Additionally, if I wanted to, I can additionally filter the results, so pull up the filtering again. Now, as always, if I wanted to start detailing through the list, I can click on the more actions so that I can add these to favorites, send by email, send by text message, or add to a specific cart. Now, at any time, I can pull up any information, so we'll go ahead and view this. We'll view the first property. Right, and so a couple of things we can see right away. So right automatically, we can go ahead and click on the star if we wanted to save the property. Now that's in one of our favorites. We automatically can see photos of the property. We see some basic information about the property, right? When it was active, when it was listed, the price, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. And then we have these additional options, right? We can send this listing by email or send by text message. Now, do note that if we send these two by email or by text message, it's also going to be a downloadable link, so the person has to download the app first and then get access to it. It is going to be a little bit of a process, but this is to get them onto your MLS Touch. Now, you can add this to one of your carts that you're watching. We can easily search comps, or we can send this in the messenger. If we send this in the messenger, this will send to one of our clients that we already have connected with us, and we see any showing requests. We can also print out this little page. Comps are very easy to search. Hitting on that comparables tab, right, it's going to pull up that little search menu. We're going to keep the same number of bedrooms, and we'll go ahead and search. And I will let that do its thing. It found one comparable in my area, 2-mile radius. It's because we kept the same number of bedrooms, but we would be able to see it on the map or the list and filter through. So it's very easy pulling those comps. Additionally, we can see this property on a map. We can see it in 3D, which is really neat for a lot of your clients to kind of see where it is located in space and time, to kind of just come in and observe a 360 of the property. As well as driving directions. Now you get to see the public remarks. You get to write private notes that can be seen between you and your clients. You get the realist tax data, so you can see owner information, tax information. You have a payments calculator, the features, the showing instructions, and any agent remarks. You have the listing agent, just like with every property, for yourself so that you can contact them. You have a history of the property, how many days on market or price changes, as well as all of the activity. And then you have the additional information, such as the MLS number, the listing date. And we can see at the bottom that we have the option to just directly contact the agent, agent to agent. Now we do have an MLS search, our saved searches from our MLS Touch or our matrix. All of your listings can be seen on both a map, a list, and you can get some statistics of those properties and those areas, and any of your favorites. And we can see all of our favorites both on a list, a map, and see statistics of them. I'm going to go ahead and come back into the more section now, and we're going to go and show you how to do that brand and share feature, the brand and share feature, along with the Facebook publishing tool. So the Facebook publishing tool, right, is going to automatically publish your listings on Facebook. You have to connect that. That's a different service you're going to have to use if this is something that you're interested in. We do have the brand and share, right? You get to create your own app and brand your own real estate app with the logo and colors of your choice. You get to stay up to date and convert your leads into contacts to be notified when they add listings to their favorites and to send them suggestions. And then keep in touch. You can communicate and explore listing options in one place with all of your contacts. So it really helps you in management. It's also less invasive to all of them. And this is our brand and share page. So we get to select our logo, depending on what logo you want. I have the DAOR. And we get to pick our color schemes. So whether we have a primary color, our main accent color, and we'll vary it with now there are presets such as Berkshire Hathaway, right? Century 21, Coldwell Banker, if you wanted one of those. And we would just apply the colors and logos that we choose. We see that that's saved, and we can preview how that would look. We can see how the branded app will look. We can preview the email layout that I send to people. And we also can preview the listing layout, how it will look when they come onto the listings. So I'm good with those colors, and now green means go, and I'm gonna go ahead and share my app. So now we have the share my app. This is my installation link. This is my link. You see, include this link in your email signature and on any marketing material to let your potential clients download your own branded mobile app. So this is the link. These last 8 digits are your realtor code. So if someone just downloads the app already first and they're like, hey, what's your realtor code? It's going to be these last digits. You can easily send this link by text message or send by email, however you want to have your client view the application and download the application. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here just for a moment, and we're going to change gears just a little. And we're going to move on over to the MLS Client App. Now, this is the app that your client is going to use. They cannot get access to MLS Touch by using the MLS Touch app. They have to download this secondary application, the MLS Client App. That's the app for your client. So we see a couple of branding things, right? So right away, thank you for downloading my app. Please fill out the form so we can collaborate together and unlock cool features. I'm going to skip that for now. And now we see that this is how it is, this branded option. I selected the colors and the scheme. Some of the presets are a little bit more beautiful and aligned, but we see I have it branded at top. Now, my client gets a map search, an advanced search, a safe search, right? Very similar to you. They can just search right on the map. Ooh, the red's a nice color. And they can pull up any information. They can save a search. They can filter through the results. Similarly, like you, they have this 360 option so that they can view it on half of the map and half of the list. Additionally, they can see any favorites that they have or that they've decided to save. They can pull up an MLS search, right? They have a My Agent profile so that they can always go to you and see all of your contact information or any of your active listings. They get some tips and facts both on the buying and selling side, which is a very neat, useful tool for them. A mortgage calculator. And they do have this more option, right? Similarly at the bottom for their saved searches, their agent, their calculator. And all along the bottom, they get their agent, the calculator, and their favorites. And when I'm a client inside a particular home that this was favorited, we can kind of go through and I see some information, right? I can send this by email or by text message. I see some remarks. There are my private notes that I can have between me and my realtor, my payments calculator, and some features. As always, they have that huge just Insta View button so that they can pull up any property that they're passing by, any listed property. I'm definitely going to open this now to any questions that you specifically have. If you'd like me to answer a specific question about the MLS Touch app or the MLS Client app, I definitely can. This is just a little bit of an overview to kind of go through and show you how to start setting it up and some of the neat tools and features that you can use inside of the application itself. So just something that I kind of wanted to go over. If you have any questions, please always email outreach@daor.com. That is my email in case you need any help with any of your benefits. Additionally, you can always call the office. I am here at the office now. We aren't open to the public, unfortunately, but I am here 9 to 4. You can call me anytime during that time. Ask to speak to Joey. This is just one of the 3 different mobile applications that are offered by CRMLS. Now, we don't just have the MLS Touch and the MLS Client, which I think is the most streamlined and the best. We also have the CRMLS app that we can log into specifically. That gives us some of that same information, right? We can pick up a property, search for a property. When we come into a property, same thing, we can kind of share in a messenger. We see some information. To me, this just isn't the same. It's not as streamlined, it's not as nice, and you can't brand it as great. So we can use my address books, or I'll enter contact info. We see client activity. Couple of things we can do with the CRMLS app, right? My listings, agent roster, save searches, some cards. We can launch the matrix directly to our desktop or showing time. Use that mortgage calculator and share my app so that we can link people this way. Now, this is one way to do it. As I said, there are a couple of different features on here in terms of how you search, but as you see, it's not as streamlined as the actual MLS Touch app. Additionally, one of the better, more resourceful ones for the realtor when it comes to listings is HomeSnap. HomeSnap is another great, useful app. We can always search for sale, for rent. We see things like our agent-only features if we want to purchase that, any homes that we're looking for, for rent or all homes. We can save, search, and filter. We do get messages, and we do have some news. Now, the greatest thing about this app is that it does allow you to add things. If we go over here to the Agents Pro, you get certain things like how you can advertise a listing, your dashboard, and you can see different tips on there for doing things. There's a lot of different things you can do. My public profile, my agent only profile, see things like who's viewed it. Now this is really good because the HomeSnap allows you actually to take photos or to do like these virtual tours via like HomeSnap stories, almost very similar to Instagram stories. And these kind of allow you to go onto the MLS and make those changes with those homes. And kind of when you go into a property, you can kind of search a little bit of different things. Let's go into this property. That's perfect. All right, so this is how it'll look in the HomeSnap app, and see if there's something added to here. There's not, but we do have the feature, which will load momentarily. As you see all along the top, we have new, and this new is where you can do the stories. You can keep photos, see commute time, and map time. Here you can literally do like virtual walkthroughs, like little stories. You can record little videos. So guys, as always, that's going to go ahead and complete this training.